All right, good morning, Las Vegas. We're coming in live this morning, Power 88. I want to talk to you about real estate. That's right. It's going to be some good information for today. Tune in, tell a friend. It's that time. Greg DeVille, Power 88. That's right. Yeah, it's getting ready to be the weekend. You excited? Ready for it? All right, all right. Get my pen. Get an ink pen and write this number, 702-515-4100. 702-515-4100. All right. We on the rights this music. All right, good morning, Las Vegas. Greg DeVille back in the studio once again. That's right, live on radio, Power 88, the People Station. All right, it's time to get into this real estate talk. As usual, we understand interest rates are rising just a bit. Yes, they are. Interest rates are rising a bit, which means it's causing your mortgage payment to go higher. But don't get nervous. Don't bag out of getting into the real estate. You've got to get into real estate. Listen, wherever you lie your head, you pay rent or you pay a mortgage. The advantage to paying the mortgage is that it creates wealth through equity. The disadvantage to renting is it creates wealth through equity, but it goes to someone else. So if I can help you start gaining wealth and creating wealth in your life, I think you'll like me much better. Get up here, tell a friend. Greg DeVille, he's back on the radio again, everybody. He's giving out great information. We've got money to give, up to $20,000 towards your down payment. We can help get you in. Now, family members that are listening to me, and you have young, millennials, let me say this to you. Help them get my phone number. Would you do that? 702-515-4100, or you can text 702-787-7559. They need that number. Why? They only need 2 years on the job. You've got your home. Let's help someone that we know. Everyone knows someone in their family, on the job, in the ministry, wherever you spend your time, you know someone who is paying rent. But let me say it this way. They're paying a mortgage. They're just paying someone else's mortgage. And so we want to get you in the mindset to start creating generational wealth for yourself and for your family and your friends. And you may be the catalyst by which someone gets this information to say, look, there is grant funding available. Don't let down payment discourage you from getting what's yours. God has it laid up, sitting there like the river flowing with milk and honey. He didn't have to get it ready. It was ready. He had to get the people ready for what was already ready. So what's ready for you, there's some things you may need to do. In my transparency, let me say this. In 2014 and 15, we weren't ready. Financially, things were in a tight place. Credit-wise, shot. We were in the decline of the market. 05, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all those years were, my God, very challenging. Nonetheless, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not a freight train, praise God. There is some great benefit, blessing, and encouragement at the end of the tunnel. That's right. It means things are going to be, it's called a turnaround. Can you say that this morning? It's going to be a turnaround. Now, whether you need to get your credit on track, whether you need to say, you know what, I need to stop buying stuff. Because I always say this, you need another pair of shoes like you need a hole in your head. No, what you need is some real estate. Come on, everybody. Talk to me. You need real estate. Because when it's time to move, when that landlord decides to sell that property, and he says, I'm giving you a 30-day notice, what are you going to do? I had a contact from some dear friends of mine on yesterday, and I'll tell you what, they gave me a call and they said, man, our landlord just sold the place we've been living for the last 6-7 years. Here's the deal. They called me to say, we got to relocate. And I said, listen, you both live together. Father and daughter live together. I said, well, if you're living together in a rental, then both of you have an income. Then why don't you go on together and let's get you qualified for a purchase? Listen, if it makes sense, Make a move. If it makes sense, do it. Don't hesitate. Don't say, well, that's not for me. And let me say this. You're already paying a mortgage, beloved. Yes, you are. You're already paying a mortgage. You're already doing it. But guess what? You're doing it for someone else. And the disadvantage is for you, there's an advantage to them, but the disadvantage to you is when they do decide to sell, you got to start all over again. You've got to go find somewhere to move, somewhere to live, right? Because they decided to sell. It's their right. It's their property. They have a choice in what they want to do with their property. So now they have decided to say, you know what, DeVille, that makes sense. I've been for years trying to get this family to purchase. It doesn't matter who they are. Names aren't important. Examples are. The example to this is they have been renting for many, many years. And I've been asking, and what season got approved, just didn't find anything but guess what? Here we are visiting this again. Now, you're going to see me, you're going to see me. Eventually, it's like a mortician. Eventually, you're going to see what they used to call an undertaker. One day, you're going to come and see me. I'd like for you to come see me now. I'd like for you to call me now. Contact me now. Don't wait till you get this message, and now we've got to hurry up and try to get out of here. Because the landlord told us we got less than 30 days. So what are you going to do? What's we going to do? Here's what you're going to do. 702-515-4100. Or you can text us at 702-787-7559. Greg DeVille, DeVille Realty Group. Team DeVille. Shout out to the queen, the beautiful, the lovely Marquetta DeVille. Listen, let me tell you something. They're on standby right now to take your call. Make the contact with us. Don't wait. Now, I have many people who said, DeVille, because when you call me, I want to know how long you've been listening to me. And so I asked a few people. I said, I've been here about 3 or 4 years. I said, you mean to tell me you're just now calling? You missed the wave of the 2.5% interest rate? Man, interest rates were on sale. You missed the sale. Don't you hate missing a good sale? Now the price is back to usual. So what are you going to do? You're going to pay the price. That's right. They used to call it pay the piper. And that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to accept that's the fact. It's where we are, but we've got to do it. I missed the boat. Forgive yourself. Move on, and don't hold it against yourself, because you missed the boat. Listen, praise God. I've been here 7 years right here, Power 88, the People Station, doing what I do right now. The last November, this coming of it, the Lord said the same. We'll be 7 years sitting in the studio chair 3 days a week, sharing Power 88 with the people about real estate. I don't veer from real estate. This is what I've been designed to do. This is in my DNA. It's where I'm at. It's where I'm at. And so with this, and with that being said, I need you to make a move. And that's by contacting my team, 702-787-7559, or you can contact my Northwest location, 702-515-4100. Or you can Google Greg DeVille. If you're driving, you say, hey, I can't write it down, and I don't want you to try to text it in. I want you to look up Greg DeVille, right? Greg DeVille, DeVille Realty Group. You'll get that contact information. We want to hear from you. It's imperative, people, that I hear from you. These landlords are going up on rent without any cause, right? They can make any reason to go up. I'm going to buy a new car and charge it to the tenant. Let me say this. Landlords are on a fixed rate. I know my friend Booker's listening to me. He's always teasing me about that. Man, you always going after the landlord. No, I'm going after creating wealth. I'm going after creating wealth in the community. Because if I help you and show you the way, right? They used to tell me, I can give you a fish, or I can teach you how to fish. If I teach you how to fish, I can feed you for a lifetime. I'm giving you generational wealth that'll hand down to your children's children. That's what the word of the Lord declares. That's right. Not just your children. It says your children's children, your great-grands. Come on, somebody. This is what I'm talking about, right? So at the same time, here's what we want to do. I want to hear you contact the team. Now, those of you that are in trouble with your mortgage, I'm the guru at real estate, y'all. I'm the guru. Praise God. Glory to God, man, what he's given me the wisdom what to do, that he's made me the guru at what I do. I can help you in any situation. You in a foreclosure situation? Guess what? We will contact a bank on your behalf and postpone. Man, I'm telling you, we got the anointed power of God on our ministry of this real estate. That's right. It's a ministry. This is not just fly by night cat, just trying to make some money. We're not worried about money. What we want to see is the community create wealth, because you're going to live somewhere. And while you live where you live, do you own the place you lie your head at night? And you work a 9 to 5? And you've been living there longer than 3 years, but you owned a home before? Guess what? I want you to forgive yourself. You lost a home. Guess what? It's a new day. It's a new dawning. It's a new season. And there's a miracle with your name on it, waiting on you to receive it. All you got to do is receive it. Say, you know what, DeVille, that's me, man. I'm, landlord selling. Or don't wait. Somebody said, well, I live in an apartment. Listen, whatever excuse you have, I'm not here to budge you on your excuses. Listen, at the end of the day, this is only for those. It's like a pastor in the church. This message is not for everybody, but it's for somebody. This message today may not be for everyone, but it's for someone that will grab the horns and say, you know what? I'm moving forward, DeVille. I'm changing the way I've been living. I've been paying into someone else's equity. I've been paying into someone else's lifestyle. And it's time for me to look out for myself. If you made that confession, I want to hear from you at the team. Let the team say they contacted us. Then thank God for the many of you that give referrals. You know, this is my passion. I enjoy what I do. I met a lady, shout out to Patsy last week, and she had been hearing me for a long time. She said, I see your commercials on television. I hear you on the radio. She said, we enjoy what you do. Guess what? We were laughing. She said, because you haven't veered from what you say. You have been consistent. And I think she told me 3 or 4 years she's been listening. We have a situation, we're working with her on real estate. Listen, guess what? Whatever the problem is you're dealing with in real estate, whether it's probate, we got someone for that. Whether it's trying to put together a trust, shout out to Josh Gillicky, who just this week, we had a class over at West Las Vegas Library, right? And it was on wills and trust and probate. Now we're going to do it again. I put it on Facebook. I talked about it on the radio. Estate planning. Get your affairs in order. Many have passed away without a will, without a trust. And more than a will, you need a trust, because the trust I'm telling you, it'll avoid probate. But even in that, whatever real estate, that's why it's the Greg DeVille Let's Talk Real Estate Show, because we're all over the real estate. You want to invest? You want to take your equity that you have and invest it? Wealth matters. Residual income matters. How do you create residual income and you work on a 9 to 5 and it's hard to save money? I got an answer for you. It's called equity. Creating wealth through equity. Your legacy matters. What you leave matters. Many leave and don't leave anything but a bunch of shoes and clothes and stuff because they never really had real estate. And frankly, no one really talked about it in our generation, how important it is. But I believe that my job, my assignment, my timing that I'm here is to encourage and encounter everyone with a piece of real estate, whether it's a condo, a townhome, single family resident. You could be getting a double wide on a piece of concrete. Let me tell you something. I used to live in a double wide, and it was just like a home. I don't want to live in no trailer. Let me tell you something. Start where you can, right? Build from there. Because you know what? You'll never start if you don't start. Even if it's there's some nice mobile home parks. They have really well-kept mobile home parks in this valley. And now, listen, there's some, they start real reasonable, $69,000, $89,000, $129,000. 3-4 bedrooms. Very well maintained. They're not all trashed and all run down. Listen, but if that's all you can afford for now, it's yours. They build equity, maybe not as fast as a single family, but they have to be on a concrete. They can't be on stilts. They have to be on a concrete foundation. They are literally considered single family resident. And the communities in many cases are really nicer than some of these apartment buildings. So I want to encourage you. I don't care where you start. I know people live in a mobile home. Be encouraged. Wherever you are, start where you are. Now, I got a couple of approval letters this week, mid 300s, low 300s. Now, there's not a lot of options out there, but I bet if you take something and say, I'm going to make this work, I want you to keep it 3 to 5 years. 3 Christmas trees, 5 Christmas trees. And let's talk about refinancing it. Or let's talk about selling it, using that equity to put down something else. Do you know how many landlords today who started with the house you live in, they used to live there? 1,000 square feet. They used to live there. Now they live in 3,000 square feet, but they started in that 1,000 square feet, right where you are today. So where you start is not where you finish, right? You got to get started. But the way to do that, you've got to contact my team, 702-787-7559. Greg DeVille, Team DeVille, DeVille Realty Group with the Queen Marquetta DeVille. They're on standby to take your call. Listen, we have every second Saturday of each month, we have the home buyer education. Don't forget, contact the team, 702-515-4100. Register for the class. Man, if I could bring in the many this month on second Saturday, we had 35 in the class. Every month, it's been phenomenal. Teaching the class the last 5 years, we've been doing home buyer education. What that is about is that for someone that's not familiar with my talk show, the government is saying, listen, we'll give you up to $25,000 towards your down payment, but you must be educated before we're able to give. You must possess a certificate before we can, we want you to understand about home ownership. Now, veterans are not required, but it's still, I've had veterans say, man, I'm glad I came. It was so much information that it helped them understand the difference between home warranty and homeowners insurance. Who do I call if a tree would have fallen in the house? That's not a home warranty issue. But if there's a leak under the sink, right, that's a home warranty issue, not a homeowner's insurance. But many people don't know the difference. And so we educate the community, right? We want you to understand about financing. When is a good time to refinance a home? When is the best time to lower the interest rate? Do I wait? Do I move? There's a lot of questions that get answered in the class. So contact the team, 702-515-4100. Get your answers answered by the team. Register for the class for the second Saturday in the month of August. All right. Also, I want to talk for a moment on those subjects of foreclosure. I have families who are in trouble with your mortgage. Listen, Greg DeVille, Team DeVille, we're here to help, right? We want to help get you on track, get that mortgage paid off. Now, if you're behind, you're getting notices. The bank's not willing to work with you. They're not willing to do the modification. They're not willing to adjust the payment, put it on the rear. And many, they have. There are many, they have gotten the modification. But, however, there are many that have not. And if you're one of the ones who have not gotten that modification or that, payment put to the rear, that payment that's, been deleted, that delayed payments you've had during the forbearance, right? So we know that's ended. You're aware of that. Now, if you're not reading your mail, you may want to do that after today, because the banks we had Miss Debbie Conway from the county recorder sharing with us that there are 60 to 80 foreclosure filings every week now. And that was about 3 weeks ago. She was here in the studio with us, sharing with us that those filings are increasing in the valley. Okay, so if you're one of the ones, you're getting that notice, read your mail, because if they put a sale date, it'll go to the auction block, and there's nothing you can do. I'm not here to make you afraid. I'm here to make you smart. I want you to move in wisdom on it. If you're getting notices, you need to read your mail. I know you don't want any more bad news. You know you're behind. You know things are tight. You don't want to hear it. But at the same time, you don't want to hear the new owner knock on the door and say, I give you 3 days to vacate my home I bought at the auction. And they'll provide paperwork and documentation that will show they own the property. So I just want to keep you in mind so you will know what things are. But if you don't open that mail, you won't know where you are. And the sad part is the landlords or the new person that purchased the property at the auction. Now, some of you living in homes that you're renting, and some of these landlords haven't been paying. And guess what? They're getting foreclosed on as well. And you don't even know it. Now, the letters may come to the house, but they're for the landlord. You just don't want to open someone else's mail because it's illegal. But those are notices sometimes. And again, be prepared. If your lease is due to expire soon, be prepared. They may increase your rent if they don't increase the idea of selling the property. Many landlords are opting out because values are coming down. So they say, well, let me cash out now before it goes down, because anything goes up comes down, right? But we're not talking a crash down, but we're saying it's coming down to an even playing field. We have about 8,000 homes on the market right now. So if you've been waiting to purchase, this is the time. However, the interest rates are a tad bit higher. If you're going to go through the grant fundings, those interest rates are a tad bit higher. For example, if you're looking at a home right now, and I took the liberty of writing some things down. So if you're looking at let's say 5.25, right? It's predicated on your FICO as well. So no, if you have a 680 or better FICO, you very well can get them 5.25, 5.5 perhaps, at a median home price, let's say $455,000. At 5.25, the payment is $2,387 a month, not including tax and insurance or an HOA. But if you have a 580 to a 675 FICO, that same price of a home at 455, that interest rate may be 6.5%. Your credit matters because your credit can determine where you land on the interest rate. The rates are a little, listen, if you're risky, let's say you're a lender and you got a person who pays on time, do everything right. They're taking care of their responsibility when it comes to their debts. Well, you don't mind entrusting them with a little more loan enough money, right? But a person that you've had to chase down, write letters, knock on the door, send certified letters, that's a risky credit. You're not as, you're a little more reluctant to loan again. I'm gonna loan it to you, but I want 9% interest rate, because you're at risk. My money's at risk, and that's what these lenders are saying. You're at risk of not paying my loan. I may have to foreclose to get my money back. The better your credit. So visit some of those credit ideas. Google about learning about credit, or you can contact my team. We have some creditors on standby who will assist you in getting that on track if that's what you need to do. 702-515-4100 or text us at 702-787-7559. Greg DeVille, Team DeVille, DeVille Realty Group. So again, 580 to 675 at $455,000. Your payment is $2,959. Why, DeVille? Because you didn't protect your credit. So now you're a higher risk than the person with a 680 or better FICO. They got a 5.25. You at 6.5. The risk. We're talking about a $600 difference in a payment because of your credit. Now, I'm here to give it to you real, the way it goes, the way it is, right? What they say, give you what God really loves, and that's the truth, right? At the end of the day, if you own a home, use your equity. You've been talking about, man, I could use a single story home, or maybe you want to invest, create a residual income. Guess what you do with that? Use your equity to do it. Listen, Brother Paul in studio with us today. He has been a great example to someone who's been hearing the show. He says, man, I want to buy a condo. He said, I've been listening to your show. He called us, contacted. Guess what? Said it with a lender, pulled the equity out, put it down on the condo. Now he's in his other investment properties. This is what you do. You listen, you make a move, contact Team DeVille. Now there's 15,000 realtors out there. I don't advise calling other realtors, but if you have a family member that's a realtor, listen. But I've had family members that are realtors that don't know much about real estate. They just hold a license. I on the other hand, educate myself. I listen to the market, and I listen to lenders and where are the interest rates today, what's moving, what's shifting, what's changing in the real estate industry. It's not about the money for us. We're not chasing money. Money's chasing us. We're chasing to give the dream away. At the end of the dream, there's a pot of gold. You're creating generational wealth. That's what I'm chasing. That's why I'm on radio as much as I am. Did a show yesterday on radio. I'm doing radio, television, whatever we've got to do, because I am adamant about my community owning their own real estate. Because I know how it feels when I rented for 3 years at $1,500 a month over in the Centennial area about over 6 years ago. I paid $1,500 a month for this 5-bedroom. 3 years, I gave $54,000 away in 3 years. Then a gentleman heard me talk about it on the radio. He in turn says, DeVille, I've been here at $1,500 for 5 years. I pulled over, did the math. The calculations show he paid, watch this, $90,000 to a landlord. Now, at some point, you got to get tired and say, you know what, I gave this cat a ton of, you're helping pay their home off. So when you pay down the principal, guess what? The value goes up because they owe less, but they have more value in the home. Well, who's paying into that? Because they have their own place where they live, so they're getting double equity, the one you're paying and the one they're paying. So with that being said, You got to stop paying for someone else and let's pay for yourself. Now, if you want to use that equity that you currently live in, or maybe just, again, use that equity to get into investment properties, duplex, fourplex, whatever. Something that, or you maybe want to start a business. I met a lady recently at an event. Shout out to my friend Devin Moore, and had an event. I went by and a lady, oh, you're correct, DeVille. We met. She was sharing. I listened to your talk show, and you mentioned about using the equity to either something residual, whether it's a purchased property. She in turn purchased a vehicle. She said, I pulled out equity in my home to purchase a vehicle and to pay down some debt. And I was hoping because she's self-employed, she has a business, but she does mobile pop-up business. And I thought, okay, I'm listening to her. I'm saying, I sure hope she bought an SUV. And she said, yeah, I bought a car. And I said, oh, okay, what'd you buy? She said, I bought an SUV. I'm like, yes, because that can move her product around, right? Something that benefits your business, not just a car. Something that benefits your business. Somebody, you want to start a business. You have a property. So you can take the equity out to start your business. Startups sometimes can be costly, but you have an advantage than most when you own real estate that, guess what, you can use, and oftentimes your interest rate goes down. We refinanced the home, went down from a 4.25 to 2.99. Well, now that's making a move, right? So that's what happens when you own real estate. That's what your landlord is doing. Let me disturb you just a bit. Can I do this? Your landlord is pulling money out of the house. You've been paying the rent. He goes out and borrows. So let's say he got $230,000 in equity, right? So he's up to 80% he can borrow on the house you live in. So that means he can borrow, guess what? Up to $180,000. His mortgage payment, his interest rate may go down, right? It goes down, but his mortgage payment goes up a bit because he took $180,000 out. But it only went up $200 to $300. So what he did was he increased your rent to pay for that money or that rate that went up on him, that mortgage payment. But he got $180,000, and who's paying for that? You are. That's the nature of the real estate game, right? It's a business. Treat it as a business. So you want to purchase another home, then take the equity in that home. Now what you're going to do is the equity that's in that home, put it on another home, whether you're going to reside in it and rent this one out, or you're going to purchase the next home as a rental. If you have a home right now and you're a veteran, we can help you get another home using your VA certificate. So for more information, contact my team, 702-787-7559, or you can text us at 702-787-7559. You can call my Northwest location, 702-515-4100. Whatever you do, make a move today. Don't wait. We're here to help. All right. All right, Sharon Scott. Good to have you, Wilson, with us this morning. Listen, to many of you that are tuning in, don't forget your chance, your time, your miracle is right in front of you. It's ready to manifest. And so you've got something to do. And if it's credit, if it's make the contact with Team DeVille, or it's just get answers to your questions, call and contact us. Get register for our next home buyer education, which will be the second Saturday in August. Okay. So I'm running out of time. I've got to get out of here. Listen, it's been fun. I've had great 30 minutes here. I hope I was able to share something. So if you're buying, selling, or investing, DeVille Realty can help. Again, our contact information, 702-787-7559, or you can contact our Northwest location, 702-515-4100. Well, I got to go. You be safe. Have a great weekend. If you're going to drink, don't drive. Watch out for the man next door. Listen, I want to say this to you. Until we talk next, I'll talk to you on Friday at 2:30. I'll talk to you Sunday at 2:30. And until then, may God's best be yours. Take care. Well, Las Vegas, all right. Thank you. Talk to you soon. 702-515-4100. We look forward to speaking with you, and we'll talk to you real soon. Okay, have a great weekend again, and call us with any questions. We'd love to hear from you. Take care. All right.